It is spooky season, folks, and you know what that means? We got more horror reviews on the way. This time, folks, we're getting into my review of the new film, It Lives Inside. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the new film, It Lives Inside, coming to theaters September 22nd. This film did premiere this year at South by Southwest, so you may see some reviews online right now. But now that I had my chance to check it out, because it's going to be coming in theaters in just a few days, I'm here to talk about it. But ultimately, I was really excited to check this out because I did miss it at South by Southwest. I did hear and see good things about it, so I just couldn't wait for my opportunity to check it out. And certainly, this film didn't disappoint. I love the uniqueness of this film because as much as I love me some horror, I have never seen a horror film really circled around the Indian heritage. And that even goes into like even the demon here and Prasasha, who attaches to this young girl Tamar, which we'll come back to in a second. But understanding like the importance of this heritage could actually be the one to defeat this demon. Okay, I'm with that, because not only do we get to see something unique, but we also get to learn about something that we haven't, or I haven't been exposed to. And I think that as we push to be more inclusive and more diverse into filmmaking, I think it's good to see Indian filmmakers in the forefront in a genre like horror, which up and down with the cast, ultimately with the director and writer. This is the way, and I was very excited just on that alone. Just on that merit alone, I was very excited to check it out. But this film is about Sam, who is attending an American high school, as the synopsis says, as a student. And Sam, much like all of us in high school, we wanted to fit in. And with that, it really was about her running from her Indian origin, her Indian heritage, something that her mom and her dad is very proud about, her family, everyone around her, and she looks to abandon that to fit into an American high school because, with her heritage, it's something that, not many, her best friend for sure, but not many at her high school is going to be so welcoming, you know what I mean? And certainly we all dealt with this in one way or another. But in fact, in order for her to sort of have a smooth transition into high school, this was her way by saying, if I avoid this, then I can fit in. And in fact, her losing touch with her family and her culture and running away from all of this may be the one thing that can help her, not only with the troubles that may be around the corner from her, but ultimately looking for, as I mentioned, her best friend Tamara, who, this demonic spirit seemed to have found their host, and now Tamara is missing. So this film takes a good 40 minutes before it gets traction. I'll keep it 100 here. And with high school, you get all the typical high school stuff. You get these mean girls, you get these crushes, you get all that sorts of different things. Meanwhile, you got this demon, right? And we don't learn too much about the demon per se. And you definitely have a lot of questions about how this demon operates. But even before you start to get some answers, it's entirely creepy. And the demonic entity, it feeds on negative energy, which there's really good messages around it. Her teacher Joyce, who's played by Betty Gabrielle, who I love, so I was very excited to see her a part of this film, was somebody that was definitely very big on good energy, not even knowing what's all kind of happening behind the scenes anyway with this demonic entity out here tormenting her students here. But again, the demonic entity, it feeds on negative energy. So the best way to deal with this demonic entity is by containing it, and this meant by putting it in a jar or something like that. But it eventually got out, and it started to wreak havoc here. So the demon reveal, it was very slow to get into that, which I don't have a problem with it. But they definitely use a lot of implied presence with the CGI, like lurking. Really nothing practical here. So I think this was very much a way to dance around, having a presence, but also not having a budget for having something practical and whatnot, which certainly I do love practical stuff, but I thought they handled this in a way that was obviously very cost beneficial. But, as me, I'm looking for the monster reveal. So I'm just kind of like, when are we going to get it? When are we going to get it? When are we going to get it? And then eventually when we did get it, which was totally CGI, to an extent, I was unimpressed by the design. I wasn't creeped out about it at all. It didn't really do anything for me. It's kind of like, okay, I guess. But again, as I mentioned, the story itself was refreshing, especially to highlight a demon within the Indian culture. I thought was really, really cool, and just the Indian culture involved, and the Indian culture in general being so involved, I thought was really good. And the ending, yeah. The ending was definitely something to say, something to see, and I obviously could talk a lot about it, but I will say like the ending was definitely a come to terms with everybody understanding that you want to stay on your good vibes only if you really want to operate, because this demon definitely will be back if you got some negative energy. And I think there's a lot more I can say about it, but I don't want to give anything away. But I'm just gonna say the ending definitely has some. I have some thoughts about it, about possibilities of what they can do going forward with this. But I will say this, that I thought Megan as Sam, Megan Shuri, I thought she did a really, really good job and really connecting us to high school life again, and understanding, how you want to kind of come from underneath your parents' umbrella, and you want to kind of do your own thing, even though our parents always had us as best interests, but we always think we're grown and we think we know what's best. We're out here chasing, others. And with her, she's chasing this boy. She got her crush out here doing parties and whatnot. Got these mean girls after her and bullying her. At the same time, she's kind of like not really focusing on school so much. And then she got her best friend that's missing, which, at one point becomes sort of like I'm not going to be seen with you because you're also Indian, and also like you're going through some stuff, and folks are definitely saying that you're weird, so I don't want to be a part of that. To her really having to realize what is important, and family is important, her culture is important, her best friend is important, somebody she's been with her almost her entire life here. I think she even mentioned that her best friend ultimately is like her cousin, because within the culture, they spend a lot of time together. And that essentially just, it's as good as blood. So, I think it's really a come to life moment for the character Sam, which I think a lot of folks who watch this has experienced in one way or another, just minus the demonic entity thing. But overall, I think I thought it was a solid film. I just wasn't really so wild about the demon reveal. And then the ending I thought was just like, yeah, it was a thing. I'll put it that way. It was a thing. But by all means, go check out It Lives Inside. Jump in the comments, let me know your thoughts about it. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon.